Let's take you live now to Dainfern. That's where IEC chairperson Glen Mashinini is set to cast his vote. In fact, my co-anchor Ayanda Nyathi is there for us. He joins us now live from Fourways. So Ayanda, it's 9 minutes to go until 7 o'clock. Does being IEC chairperson mean that you get special privileges and that you vote before voting stations actually open at 7 o'clock?
Well, it doesn't appear to be the case, Michelle. Good morning to you. And you'd be surprised to actually think the fact that the election station here hasn't even opened, given how long the queue already is. You're absolutely right. Glen Mashinini, the IEC chair, also here. And like every other South African, he too has to get in line. In fact, let's actually see if we can try and get a moment to speak to him, get a sense of what he's thinking, what he's feeling at this moment in time here, as we, I guess, count down the minutes, I beg your pardon, to a moment that at some stage we didn't think would actually arrive. So I'm going to try actually sneak in if I can. Mr. Mashinini, you're live on Newzroom Afrika. If I can just steal you for 2 seconds. Thank you very much for making time to speak to us. You're here at this voting station in Dainfern. Your initial impression of how things are going so far?
So far, it looks good. The setup, the other side, had the chance to have a look, and they are all certain already.
Right.
So we should be opening on time.
Right. I mean, this is the election that at some stage we didn't even know would happen, given the many different elements that were at play, including COVID-19, etc., and the Constitutional Court's finally making that decision that we should go ahead. From the IEC's perspective, what are some of the remaining concerns perhaps you might still have, given the very unique circumstances under which this poll is actually taking place?
Perhaps I would prefer to start on the positive.
Sure.
I think we as a country, we are celebrating once again the vibrancy of our democracy. As you can see, people that are all here are ready to come out and vote. We want all South Africans to come out and vote. And in terms of the operations, all elections manifest different challenges. But I think we have a formidable team throughout the country that is resilient, professional, and highly capable of achieving the objectives of the institution. So we're hoping that we'll acquit ourselves. We've just achieved almost a distinction in terms of special voters, because we had over 80% of the special voters showing up in the last 2 days. And those who actually did not manage to come in the last 2 days, they can still go to the voting stations. Some of the challenges we've seen and we're encountering, it largely has been some of the logistics in terms of the materials due to weather conditions as well. Because in some of the states, like in Western Cape, in the Eastern Cape and KZN, we've seen that there were storms and all of that. So that affected things like tents being blown away, because we don't have, as an institution, the voting infrastructure. Even now, as you can see, predominantly this community votes in the local school. But because of the elections taking place during the school exams, the only facility in the neighborhood that was available is for us to erect the tents. But this is common in our country. In many areas, there isn't the infrastructure. In informal settlements, in some of the rural areas, there isn't the infrastructure. But the IEC ensures that every citizen's right is realized, that they can register their vote, right, and their will is then recognized.
Right. Thank you so much for speaking to us. I get a sense that it's a very long day ahead for you, so we'll allow you to continue standing in your line, and we'll hopefully try and catch up with the IEC chair, Glen Mashinini, just giving us really a quick take on his initial impressions around how not only voting is taking place here, but certainly how the election itself is being carried out in various other parts of the country.
Absolutely. Ayanda Nyathi, thanks very much indeed for that. He joins us live there from Dainfern. Great to see that long snaking queue there as people wait for voting to open up. Just about 4 minutes to go. 7 o'clock to 9 p.m. this evening, voting stations will be open.